It is time now for Better Money with Eric Hogarth, and today we're talking about 4 reasons to roll over your 401k. Eric is a certified financial planner and partner at Johnson Brunetti. Welcome, Eric.
Hi, Kara. Thanks so much for having me.
We appreciate you being here. Most of us who've been working at any place have a 401k, but it's one of those things for a long time you just don't touch, and then people aren't really sure what to do about it, and should they roll it over, or what do they need to do with all this large sum of money?
Well, right, because we all know that you have to save, and you have to save so that someday you can use this money so you can retire, but when do you make changes? And when do you start thinking about the risk you're taking and how you might use the money?
So there are 4 reasons that you've come up with, and the number 1 reason to roll over your 401k, and maybe you can explain what rolling over is, but it's control.
So rolling over the money. So your 401k means this is the plan that you have at work, right? And it's coming right out of your paycheck, and you're saving, you're saving, you're saving, and hopefully bigger and bigger and bigger. At some point, you're going to want to take the 401k and you're going to want to roll it into an IRA. Now, that's an individual retirement account, and the big reason you do that is control. Because in an IRA, you can invest in anything you want. Even the best employer plans have a limited list of this is what you can buy. And all those things are really focused on saving over a long period of time and letting it really ride in the market. And as you get closer to retirement, your comfort level with that constant up and down diminishes.
And the second reason would be, as you get closer to retirement, there is the ability to withdraw.
Right? So we save the money, so at some point in the future we can stop working and have another source of income, and hopefully the 401k is a big part of that. So allowing to draw money out. Now, you don't want to do it before 59 and a half. That's the earliest you want to spend the money.
Okay.
And an important note here is that you could roll the money before 59 and a half. You could even do it for a lot of employers if you're still working, and that's an important thing to be aware of. Is you don't necessarily have to be retired to move the money, but you have to be 59 and a half to spend the money. And then once you start doing that, is thinking about what taxes are we going to owe and how do we control that as part of the distribution as well.
Okay, interesting. So even if you don't like what the employer's offering, you could say, I want to take this right now and roll it. Even if you're only in your 40s or young 50s, you might be able to do that.
More
and
in
roll
the
it
50s.
and roll it to somebody. Okay, in the 50s. Okay, so something to ask your employer. Number 3, required minimum distribution. What is that?
So this is if, for whatever reason, you just haven't spent money, at 70 and a half, the IRS says you have to spend the money. And so that's the required minimum distribution. So any of these assets that you've grown in these pre-tax retirement accounts, meaning you have never paid taxes on any of it, 70 and a half, the IRS forces you to start drawing it out. So the average retirement age in the United States is around 62 years old. And you want to take advantage of those early years of retirement to draw on those retirement monies. And again, everyone's situation is different, so get some advice on this, but do not wait until you're 70 and a half to touch any of the money, because that's a guarantee that you might pay the most amount of taxes on it.
Oh, okay. And then there's the Roth opportunity if you roll it over. The Roth IRA being different than the other traditional IRA.
Roth is tax-free, right? And that's what we see a lot of younger retirement planners and savers doing these days, is you do not get a tax deduction going into a Roth, but it grows tax-free forever. So when you take the money out, you don't owe any taxes on it. There's no forced required minimum distribution at 70 and a half. So it's a great tool, and it's important to note that anyone who has money in an IRA right now, or even a 401k that you could roll over, could convert into a Roth and make that money tax-free, which is a big taxable event, but in a lot of instances makes a lot of sense if you're not going to touch the money for a long time.
Okay, so you might want to just take that taxable event early and then know that later on it'll be tax-free.
Yep.
Okay,
absolutely.
So there's a lot more information. Those are 4 good reasons that you might want to roll over, but if you want to learn more, Eric has a free offer for you. It is the Ultimate 401k Guide, and to get this for free, all you have to do is go to bettermoneytv.com, and you'll be sending that book to people to learn more.
It'll cover in more depth everything I just talked about, and things that you should be thinking about, not just when you retire, but approaching retirement as well, to make sure that you're getting as much value out of all the saving you've done as possible.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Eric.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.